Hi everyone. This next video, the other one got cut off. I'm sorry. My mom called me. Oh my god, my mom. Anyway, as a continuation, yeah, I was talking about short-term and long-term goals. So as I've mentioned, yeah, in the long run, Filipinos would focus on their families, and these long-term goals would start eventually, and then but it's gonna be with their family. Now you might wonder, is there focus on their new family, your family, or on her old family? Well, actually, it's both. But most of them, they want to make their families' lives much better, like to give them a better life, better food, better house, and so on. Because who doesn't want that for their family? But it's not usually the Filipinas' fault, but some of their families would ask for more, or they would oblige her. Worst case scenario, they wouldn't appreciate her. So that's one thing about it. Now another thing about having no long-term or short-term goal, aside from those things that I have given beforehand, is that most Filipinos, would you believe it, we don't have this concrete dream. So when you grow up, they would ask you, what do you want to be? And then, or their parents would predetermine it, and then, but there is no path or goal. So we don't reach to that point. But recently, it has been changing. People, younger generation, even people my age, they have been changing. So, but, at this point, when a Filipino reaches a certain age, their goals would change as well. For instance, some Filipinos, let's say they would get married 20, early. Those people, their goals, instead of finishing school, which is a short-term goal, and then they're gonna move on to, how to raise their children, how to take care of their husband, and so on. And then moving forward, they would lose their goals for themselves, because they're gonna give it up for their children. It's not exactly, but they're, you know that's the good. I think it's good, but at the same time it's bad, because um for them, love is like a sacrifice. So if you sacrifice yourself, your time, and everything for your family, it's it's like the best example of a good Filipina woman. So something like that. Now, how can you encourage her to have long-term or short-term goals? Well, I think in my case, what triggered me to encourage to change my mind, uh, well, I think mostly I surrounded myself with people who had that kind of, point of view. So, most of my friends back in the Philippines, some of them, they're married, but I have friends who work abroad. I have friends who run a business, and I have friends who don't. So surround yourself with these people, both of them. Now, what are the benefits, I think, for them and for us? I think the benefit is, like, let's say if you surround yourself with people who have long-term goals, you would know what you want in the end. And then for me, this is my style. I would cut it, so let's say I have a long-term goal, and I'm gonna divide that. Like, for example, let's say I want to buy a house. So instead of stressing myself with that final one, I would say, okay, this year, this is what I'm going to save this year, like that, like that. Because I have seen countries, like in Japan, they have long-term goals, and they really prepare for it. It's amazing, but sometimes it causes stress, and Filipinos don't like stress. So that's one way. Another way is to encourage her to build up herself and to see what she wants to do in life. Or better yet, have your long-term goals together. For instance, you can say, okay, let's do our short-term goal first. Let's go and travel a little bit, and then after a year, let's have a baby. So for a year, like, you have some time to improve yourself, to have, you can study or you can learn something new, and then after that we can have our baby. And then while you're pregnant, you can study something, and you can use that knowledge to create your own small, something like a hobby. So That's one way. And make sure that when they do this goal, make sure to tell them that it's separated from their goals for their families, because sometimes they think that their family is only their mother, father, brother, sister, but they forget that when they marry you, you are their family. So it happens a lot. So yeah, they would feel like, oh, you don't understand me because you're a foreigner, you have a different culture. But a lot of us, we tend to also not understand other countries' culture, which is also bad. So it's always good to meet in the middle. So anyway, that's it. I really, you everyone has their own style, but recently these goals are improving. More Filipinos have goals in life. Yeah. So even though they're simple goals, they're still goals, right? So guys, thank you for watching. Thank you so much.